Hey everyone, it's me Dee. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a female author that has made a huge impact on me. I am very happy that I read this book and it's just made a huge impact and I really want to talk about it. So, strap yourselves in, here we go. Hey everyone and welcome back to Through the Pages with Dee. I'm Dee. So today's video is about a book that I've just recently finished by Octavia E Butler. I watched somebody who I'm new to, which is Darko, the Kindles and Kicks channel. Please go over there, subscribe, watch his videos. He's fantastic. He's really, really amazing. So please go over there and give him a watch. It was his review, so to speak, of Octavia Butler's book that made me want to pick it up. His review was very powerful, and the book in itself is very powerful. If you read this book and it does not give you pause for thought, then I don't know what to say about that, because that's certainly what it did to me. It also gave me flashbacks to a film I recently watched called, recently, it was about a year and a half ago, called Tiller, and that was about Mammy Till Bradley and the struggles she went through with her son, and it hurt my heart. The film hurt my heart. So this book hurt my heart. In places, it definitely had an influence on me. I do not like things such as that. I'm not down for discrimination of any description, no matter what realms that it be in. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't want to hear it. I know it exists, and I wish it didn't. But this book is such an eye-opener, and not only that, there are elements of sci-fi in this book. So I've not read a lot of sci-fi, so for me to be introduced to sci-fi by this book, wow, is all I can say. Wow. This was definitely the right choice for me to be introduced to elements of sci-fi. It's not completely like, you know, the normal sci-fi that you hear about as in space and etc., but the time travel element in it just makes it. And then you've got all the human elements within it that they're just, I'm just awestruck. That's all I can say. I'm awestruck. I really kind of don't have the words, because I'm awestruck as to the talent of Octavia E Butler. What a talented woman she actually is. That's really about, that really mounts it up really for how I feel about this book. She's just got an extraordinary talent, and I cannot wait to read more of her works. But to go into the book a little bit, you've got the characters that are Dana and Kevin, and predominantly the book's from what Dana's going through, and it's Dana who is travelling through time and going through these situations, and Dana is a woman of colour and Kevin isn't. He's a white guy, and they're in love, they're together, they're married, and it's how Dana's past and her heritage and where she comes from relates also not just to Kevin, but how that changes things. I don't really want to say too much, because I just feel that this is a book you have to experience for yourself. You have to read this. I wouldn't normally be so demanding, or maybe I am, I don't know. Maybe I am quite demanding in my books and say, read it, but with this one, read it, like I did with Malazan, like I did with Kings of the Wild, but this has a totally different spin on it. Please read it. But not only that, please go, if you want to know more and get more insight into this book, the perfect explanation from this book has come from Darko. He has beautifully vocalised what this book is. And like I say, it was watching that made me want to pick it up and read it. And I loved it. And not in the sense of, you know, like I agreed with some of the elements of the book. I absolutely did not agree with some of the elements of the book. And to be honest, it made me feel It did this to me, let me put it this way. On one hand, it made me feel shame towards my ancestry, but then in another hand, it made me also question my ancestry. And that's what this book will do to you. It will open your eyes up and see things in a different way. We may necessarily go through life thinking we have it all sussed out. We don't. We don't have it all sussed. And this book will do that. It will make you question things that you didn't think that you had to question. And you do. Because if you have a certain outlook to the world, you really shouldn't. And we shouldn't be judgmental, and we shouldn't just take things at face value. We should just see people for people. There should be no elements of anything else involved in that. There shouldn't be elements of, sort of judgment. There just shouldn't be judgment. And I don't like judgment. And I don't like racism, and I don't like anything like that. That's just not who I am, and I don't like it, and I don't appreciate it. And that's in like the times that we're in now. As I live personally, I don't agree with any discrimination. Me as an individual, I don't like discrimination of any flavour, whether that be to the colour of somebody's skin or whether that be to their sexual preference. I don't like it. You are who you are, and that's the end of it. We're all here. We should just love each other. I'm kind of a hippie in that sense, that I'm all about just love and kindness and happiness, and I don't want hatred in the world. I know it exists, but I don't want it. And for me, this book gave this fantastic insight as to, well, what if you thought this way of yourself and this was your heritage, but then you actually found out that it wasn't, and it was this? What would you do? Would it change you as a person? Would it make you think? Would it make you second guess? Or would it make you, be more kind to yourself? Would it make you embrace yourself better? She just does a fantastic job. There's no more really that I can say. So this is probably going to be a really short video, because I don't feel like I can do... I needed to say something, because it's such a good book. It is so good in what it does, in what it's attempting to do, and it does it. It does it. If you're open to it, it will do it. But I cannot give it the justified explanation that Darko does. I just can't. He's just the perfect person to do this, and he does it with such panache. He just does it with such panache. You have to please go and watch Darko's video, Kindles and Kicks, on Octavia E Butler, on Octavia E Butler's Kindred book. You have to. But for me, it moved me. It made me think. It made me joyous on occasion. It made me incredibly sad at times. It made me have to put the book down and just pause, because I really couldn't handle what I was reading. Not in the sense of I didn't like the way the author was writing it. It just gave me... It hurt my heart to read it. So I had to put the book down and just give it a minute and talk to my daughter about it and say, look, this has just happened, and I can't believe that I've just read this. And to some elements, this is reality. This is what happened. And how disgusting is that as a thing, that this actually happened? Some things are answerable, but when you see in this book how Dana is finding out about her heritage, and how it isn't necessarily as clear cut as maybe everybody thought it was, that certainly puts a different twist on things, and it just opens your eyes to the possibilities of things that we don't actually know. Unless we look back and check our heritage, we don't actually know. We don't know. And we could have these preconceived opinions, and what are they worth? They could be worth nothing. So it definitely is a tale of love, and how far will you go for love? And that's proved in this book, that Dana and her husband Kevin will go to some lengths for each other. And then the love that Dana has for the relatives that she finds when she does the time travelling, and how even though she doesn't like what's going on around her, she can't help but feel like that family tie, that she has to help those members of her family, and she has to do things in a way that she doesn't necessarily want to do. But if she doesn't do certain things, she won't be born. She won't exist. And that in itself is just messing with time. And You know, if you don't do what that particular period of history dictates that you should do, it could mess up your own lifeline. I mean, wow. Another level, a whole nother level. So please read the book. Please read the book. And then once you've read the book, go on over to Kindles and Kicks and listen to an eloquent, beautiful man explain this book, because he does it far better than I think most possibly could. Please do that. So that's all I'm going to say for today. This book is amazing. It warrants everybody to read it. If you've already read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go out and get it, or get it from your library. Just please go and get Octavia E Butler's Kindred and read it, because it deserves to be read. It should, in time, become a classic. I mean, it was from, let me see when she wrote it, because I know it's definitely not a current book. It's not something that's just recently been released. It's been re-released, and there's a programme being made of it on FX. But this was originally done in 1979. You know, and if you think about that, I was born in 77. If you think about the time, 79, we weren't completely where we're at now. So, I mean, there's an element of bravery in there as well that has to be looked upon. And I just think Octavia E Butler is a woman that needs to be shouted from the rooftops, because this is an amazing book. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Please go and watch Darko and just give it a read. And I'll be signing out from now. So thanks for watching. I appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you guys. And yeah, that's me for today. I don't really have much more to say. I'm kind of, you know, a bit speechless over this book. Yeah, I really am. So have yourselves a great day, and I will see you on my next video. And until then, I've been Dee, and this is Through the Pages. Take care of each other, guys. Just look after each other. See you again.